For the likes that are all that's holy, stop making bad TV shows. Also, Hit Row made their appearance on Smackdown because they fucking suck. They were doing King Woods. They suck. C plus crime time. They can't rap. They're just gonna be jingling and they're gonna count it as rap. If they did diss tracks like they're just the acclaimed 2.0 with no charisma. When at least people replay Max Caster's bars. People don't do that with the Hit Row. No one cares. So what we had was Charlotte Flair doing a half decent promo, bringing over that it's just another day as her women's champion. You people counted up just to see my greatness, and then as soon as that happens, Sasha Banks and Shotzi come over. Shotzi gets a match against the champion, and then they immediately turned her heel after losing. What? I don't get the logic here. So you get over your call up off immediately changing her under a year in. So we had a suplex, we had a sloppy but saved tope suicida, big boots all over the place, and it ended over with I think the figure eight or a roll up. So it ended over with Shotzi getting pissed off and then blowing up on Sasha Banks. I guess this is the quicker way to get her over, even though we don't even determine what her personality is. Nice. I'm so excited. So next, we had McIntyre versus Mustafa Ali. Yeah, it's another open challenge. Why? Just to wrestle. That's it. No, honestly. Out of what you think open challenges do nowadays, it doesn't get the up and comer over. It's just supposed to make the other person seem legit, even though it's not doing any benefit for anybody else. Because it doesn't produce to a storyline. You're just having good matches. That's why the whole U.S. Open challenging with John Cena didn't elevate anybody. It didn't elevate Rusev. It never elevated R-Truth, Dean Ambrose, Del Rio, Ziggler, Bryan, Rollins, nobody. It does nothing because it's just an extreme. It's just to get matches for them to make sense. No rhyme or reason, no storyline. The authority figures suck because they can't format or try to think. How can I give a reason? Literally, Eric Bischoff's reason is I gotta make these matches because the people are gonna watch them. Of course, I need to make sure and make the Elimination Chamber exciting. I have to make sure people come over to see the pay-per-views because the authority figure is not like we're doing this for the fans. I'm doing this to make sure that I keep my job. That's Eric Bischoff's entire shtick. And now we have Mustafa Ali because we know he's gonna lose. It was a roll down. We had the spine buster. We get a kip up, a claymore kick. It ends with the Kimura lock. I guess that's a callback to how to when he wrestled Brock Lesnar. I guess that's the only relevancy I'm getting to. Also, Adam Pearce gives Brock Lesnar a $1 million fine. Even though he makes like more than that. Like that's gonna set back Brock Lesnar. Or anything. With Caleb Braxton asking Paul Heyman, what's Brock's response after the fine? And Paul Heyman was like, let me see what happened. Over Brock Lesnar? Like it matters to him when he's still associated with with Roman Reigns? Like why would it concern Paul Heyman? That's a dumb question. And just knowing like this is still conceding drama, of course. I like the feud with Lesnar and Roman Reigns, and I love the segment from the other week. That doesn't mean that I give a shit that anybody gets fined when there's no intertwining importance with it, because it's not going to get paid off. They're obviously not going to treat Lesnar like it's poor, as Lesnar's not going to show up every week, so it doesn't really matter. $1 million fine. Bullshit. Then we had the knighting ceremony for Knight Kofi Kingston because of fucking look. Jesus Christ, Xavier Woods got some Assassin's Creed Syndicate gear coming out with the stupid crown for DLC when it's like King Woods, rip off Michael B. Jordan, that fat dude from Ring of Honor, the other bitch looks like Jade Cargill, had a trans sister, and of course Swerve Scott is just a diet Chris Bay. Just looks awful. And I find, and yeah, the big dude over there, he looks like Don Moff from Ring of Honor. Fucking fat loser, light skinned jobbers. All of them look like the Hurt Business if you got it from a bodega. And it ended over with a ceremony that was interrupted by Roman Reigns. I'm not going to go over the ceremony because it was completely dull. It was never entertaining, and babyface New Day sucks. It comes over with the Usos coming in and being like, "Oh, we're the real kings," and the New Day trying to disrespect their fashion, even though they're the top merch sellers in the WWE right now. It was like, you still got the same fashion in 2018. And they're trying to recreate their massive rivalry. You know how? We just have them have a main event tag team match for the next week, and they pin the champion, so that means they earn a title shot. We don't get a number one contenders match. You don't tease because, I forgot that Kofi is still a mid-carder even though he won the world title before. This is how much this brand split has demagnetized any semblance of taking most of these guys seriously because it's back to the same level as they were before. Then we had a trick or a street fight here tonight here on Smackdown because it's Halloween. We gotta get our Halloween Night on Elm Street, of course, Friday the 13th, in my ass street fight. And next is gonna be the turkey leg, beat my ass with a turkey leg street fight for November. So it's gonna be Rick Boogs and Nakamura against Madcap Moss and of course Happy Corbin with bad jokes. We had running knees, spots over with the pumpkin. There was an apple picking spot that was way too overplayed. They tried too much to overact these street fights, even though you could do better gimmick matches every week to make sure it's more entertaining, even though this feud has no story. And if that's the case, please just drop the belt. Nakamura never just ever is good with holding a mid-card belt because he never intertwines a story involved with it, or they never do unique matchups with the championships. And Nakamura's always an afterthought because they can't book him well because the guy can't do much for himself when it comes to, knowing English or having interesting matches like, spinning heel kick. The only cool moves he's ever done is that running apron German suplex off the ropes. There was a Kinshasa with the fireman's carry that looked super sloppy, and it ended with Corbin and Moss picking up the win. By distraction by two Jacko asses. Sorry, that was awful. That was a terrible Jericho joke, but yeah, it ended with Garza and Humberto coming in on the scenes. They never found a name for them. It was like, look at these cousins, look at that's a way to make an impact. You just interrupted us. Pumpkin street fight. Holy shit, who cares? So it's gonna be Naomi against Sonya Deville. Just coming off an interview before with Sami Zayn trying to bring up what's going on in the coming Survivor Series and trying to get on Sonya Deville's good side while Naomi has Shayna Baszler with Sonya Deville being the special guest referee, not taking up her pins. I don't know where this story is going, or either it's like, with all the lights of flare, you're nothing. Okay, why do you hate her? Is it because she's black? I don't get it. What's this? Why do you don't want her to get over? Do you find that she's a bad person to keep in the business? Do you think that she's on TV all because of... You're not bringing up any good reason, Sonya. At least you and Mandy were a tag team and she's holding you back. I can understand a story like that because she's good looking And it's like, oh, you're here just because you're a blonde hot bimbo. You're nothing special. It's because Naomi got a big ass and she's black. Is that why? I don't get the storyline here. Why are you costing her matches against the same person? You're not costing her matches against the women's titles or personal feuds. No, there's no emotional connection here. Why I should even get invested with Naomi just getting screwed over with Sonya and just forcing her to just feel like, oh, it wasn't my decision to draft her. So why did you draft her? Just screw her over. They're just not intertwining any context with this, man, and I'm just losing interest. Because Naomi's just not that fun of a babyface, and Sonya Deville's just meh. Sorry that you got stalked and then kidnapped, man, but that's no excuse why you can't be entertaining. And then Naomi gets a promo earlier on, like she earned a shot to face off against the authority figure, even though she's been losing every week on TV. So it doesn't really matter. Like, the fans do not care. I do not care. Uso does not care. Okay, next we have Naomi. Next we have the New Day against the Usos. They've created a legendary rivalry. That's why they have it every week on free TV. Oh wow! Look at the Usos looking like a trap house Deuce and Domino in the face. Ah, so average match. If you haven't seen a New Day and Usos match, usually it's fun. Usually they have decent chemistry because they wrestle each other every fucking week. Other than that, like back in 2018, it was fast paced. We had average hot tags. Double super kick nearly had the finish over when Kofi thought he had some momentum. Trouble in Paradise miss. After the Usos splashed and they thought they got the pin, Xavier came as the legal man, and it ended with a simple roll up to they pinned the champion, so they got a shot. And that means possibly for the next week it's going to be Xavier, Kofi versus Jimmy, or it's going to be Xavier versus Jay, and then they're going to have a 6-man tag. You usually get the same formulaic bullshit from every episode of Raw and SmackDown, just so you can just spread it out weekly without any other person on the roster asking, hey, where's my shot for the tag titles? Or, hey, how come we're not getting a shot for the tag titles? We should wrestle this tag team. Because we don't like them. Why? Because they like to flip. Dude, they just do nothing to make sure nobody has a consummate interaction or have ambition to go for the belts. Or for the New Day. Like, nobody else thinks the New Day are overrated or the New Day can't be taken seriously. Or, shit, man. These are just some lackluster shows, bro. And this is after SmackDown actually being some decent TV. I mean, they get the same rating. They get like a 2.1 or 2.10, and people are just so meh about it because they always just are content with the average. They are so content with being mediocre, even though Raw would probably get in the same ratings. What do they average? Like a 2 point something every second hour, at least a 1.9 every second hour. And you think you're content with SmackDown? Like, yeah, they are the better show, but they're not doing as much entertaining other than they have a better world champion than Raw. To be honest, that's practically it. You guys are thinking thinking differently from this. You're obviously in denial, or you just don't want to, fill up your own opinion. You're just listening to any other personality on YouTube other than your own, and how you actually feel about the show. But that's how I feel. And I feel like this was a mid-episode of SmackDown. If you think any differently, that's perfectly fine. You have the right to feel that way. Other than that, that's it for me. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys had a happy Halloween.
You like that? You like that?